in a magazine called Inside Israel, the August 1996 edition. Now, this is an Israeli source, a Jewish source. It gave this fact, and by the way, this was also reported in Bahari, the daily newspaper in Tel Aviv, and by other Jewish sources in the nation of Israel. Let me just read a little bit to you here. It says, on May 3rd, 1996, Tel Aviv police raided an apartment, joined by reporters from the state-run television news program and the daily newspaper Devar Rishon. They found a bizarre scene. The walls were covered in Latin script. Skulls and bones graced the shelves. Swords were crossed and mounted around an altar. 5 doors led to secret passageways with red blinking intruder warning lights. The news report the next day announced, quote, the apartments were used for ceremonies by the Freemasons, an organization whose membership, and we're talking about Israeli membership, Jewish membership, whose membership boasts cabinet ministers and high-ranking army officers. Fascinating. Goes on to say that in spring of 1994, 2 other Israeli publications, Yediat Adonat and the Shishi, published long articles about Freemasonry in Israeli society. Both newspaper reports agreed that Prime Minister, that is the late Prime Minister, Yitzhak Rabin, had been a Mason since the 1960s, and that in 1976, Rabin presided over a large Masonic convention in Jerusalem. Benjamin Netanyahu, the Prime Minister, was also said to be a Mason. He was recruited when he was Israel's ambassador to the United Nations in New York City in the 1980s. Both newspapers observed that King Hussein, now he's a Muslim, isn't he? Yes, he is. He's an Arab. But King Hussein of Jordan had been a high-ranking and proud Mason who often traveled to London, England to participate in secret Masonic ceremonies. Quite fascinating, isn't it? He goes on to talk about the Masons. Here's a book sent to me by Barry Kamish called Traitors and Carpetbaggers in the Promised Land, a journal of Israel's betrayal. Mr. Kamish is a very fascinating writer. He talks in here about the Kissinger connection, the CFR connection, the Clinton connection, the Vatican connection, the Mormon connection, the Rabin assassination connection, and there is a chapter in here about the Masons who appear to be in control of the nation of Israel.